Welcome to the Savant ADC video training series. In this video, you will learn about the prerequisites needed prior to running the Savant ADC installation program. Let's get started. The Savant ADC application has three major components. There are the server components, the workstation or client components, and the mobile device components. The mobile device components are typically run on handheld computers with barcode scanners. Because the mobile device components are browser-based, they can also be run on any device that has an internet browser. The Savant ADC can be installed on several different server operating systems. We support Windows Server 2003, 2008, and 2012. The ADC product can also be run in a Windows Workgroup network with a Windows PC running Vista, Windows 7, or Windows 8 as the server. We recommend one of the Windows Server 2008 versions. Windows Server 2003 is dated, and Windows Server 2012 is still relatively new. If you are going to use a workgroup environment, we recommend Windows 7 for the same reasons. The Savant ADC server must have the following requirements: IIS version 7 or newer, and SQL Server 2008, or optionally, SQL Server Express 2008. SQL Server must be installed with mixed authentication mode and case-insensitive collation. If a previous install of SQL Server does not meet these requirements, then you need to install a second instance of SQL Server with the required configuration. The ADC server will also need to have the .NET Framework 4.0 and the Crystal Reports runtime engine. If the .NET Framework or Crystal runtime engine are not installed, the ADC program will automatically install these applications. The Savant ADC Client or workstation components can be installed on a PC running Windows Vista, Windows 7, or Windows 8. Again, we recommend that you use Windows 7 because it is historically the more stable operating system. Like the server installation, the client install requires .NET Framework 4.0 and the Crystal Reports runtime engine. The install program will automatically detect whether these applications are on the workstation, and if not, they will be installed. Savant ADC applications are not installed on the mobile device. However, the mobile device must run the Windows Mobile 6.5 operating system or an operating system that supports Internet Explorer 8 or newer. The mobile device must have a browser to access the ADC applications. The browser that comes packaged with Windows Mobile 6.5 will work. Other mobile devices require Internet Explorer 8 or newer. At this point, I want to take a moment here to discuss the difference between the applications being installed on the PC and mobile devices. The client applications are typically used by a warehouse manager or supervisor at a fixed desk location. These applications include the ability to set up and configure the ADC product, manage warehouse activities, detailed inquiries into those activities, and running detailed reports. The mobile applications are designed for employees who work on the warehouse floor. These applications require smaller devices that can easily be carried while performing tasks, such as receiving inventory into the warehouse, moving inventory from location to location, counting inventory, and picking inventory. These applications were loaded to the IIS server during the server install and are accessed by the mobile device using the browser. To assist you with the installation process, the user documentation contains a Savant ADC pre-installation worksheet, which you should use to document all of the information necessary to successfully install the product. The information needed to install Savant ADC requires knowledge of your Windows network and SQL Server environments. If you do not know the required information, you will need to consult with your network or database administrator prior to the install. Let's take a minute to explain the information that you will need to enter while doing the installation. During the server installation, you will need to enter the name and password of a user on the Windows server who has administrative privileges. This is necessary because the program will install services onto the server, and only a user with administrative privileges can do this. The client installation will not ask you for this information. The program will also ask for the name of the SQL server, the database name, and the SA password. When you install a SQL server in mixed authentication mode, it creates a SA, or System Administrator User, and you give that user a password. The SA password will not be needed for the client install. The Savant ADC installation needs to create tables and other related data on SQL Server. By default, Savant enters the recommended database name, Savant ADC. The program will also ask you for a folder location where the application will be installed. You can accept the default location or enter another location using the Browse button. Finally, after the installation is complete and you run the Savant ADC for the first time from the client workstation, you will be asked to enter the activation key. This key should have been emailed to the person who submitted the Savant ADC order form. Once the activation key is entered, you are good to go. Thank you for viewing the Savant ADC video training series. For more information, contact Savant Software at 855-236-9083. You can email us at support@savantwms.com or visit our website at www.savantwms.com.